It's not rocket appliances, boys.
Yeah, I'm spamming enter, so I mean, whatever.
I'm in.
Oh my god, I'm in! Oh my god, it worked!
Oh
Bro,
my
I was just
god.
spamming enter! Bro, no way! No way!
It's hardcore.
Oh my god, I'm in.
Greetings everyone, Melderon here. Well, the day finally came. Classic WoW launch day. I've been wishing and waiting for this moment for over a decade, and have been promoting the relaunch of this masterpiece on the channel since Nostalrius' shut down in 2016. Along with you all, I've been counting down the days, the hours, and the minutes. And finally, last night, at 1800 hours Eastern Time on August 26, 2019, that moment came. 3 years, 4 months, and 17 days after the shutdown of Nostalrius. As you can tell from the intro, our guild was excited, ecstatic, and maybe even a bit crazed. But when that loading screen appeared, that is when my heart skipped a beat. That is when I knew that this was something special. It was truly surreal. I knew at that moment that life will never be the same again. It marked the beginning of an era, a dream come true. However, I realized that for many of you, this moment did not live up to your expectations. I heard stories of queues numbering in the tens of thousands, DCs that forced players lucky enough to get ahead of the pack back to the end of the line, and perhaps even more astounding, world servers crashing in the EU. For the people that experienced this, I am truly sorry. I can't even imagine how frustrating things were for you. But in all honesty, things weren't peaches and cream online either. On Skyrim, East Coast PvP, the Ore Control starting zone was a flood with people. It was pure chaos. Lag spikes, loot lag, issues with mob tagging, the inability to accept and turn in quests, you name it. It was all there. In fact, they got to the point where some guildies and I grouped up to head outside of the Valley of Trials in order to get some XP on mobs 4 to 5 levels higher than us. Killing Sarkoth and Zalazane were not options. Clearly not an ideal setup. Yet, it made us think and work together as a group. This is a key element of Classic we adapted and overcame. But does this mean I think launch was a failure? Do these issues do irreparable damage to the image of the game? In order to answer those questions, let me first tell you about my observations from previous launches, whether they be those from official World of Warcraft expansions or those of popular private servers. All of the issues that I experienced last night are simply just par for the course, whether we are talking about the launch of TBC in the Dark Portal or the first hours of a fresh private server. I've been there and done it so many times that I honestly was not surprised at all. The first day or two of any Warcraft launch is a total wash. It's part of the experience in my opinion. Do I think that Blizz could have spun up more servers in preparation? Sure. But I honestly believe that they were acting with the best data that they had. I imagine that sub counts ramped up significantly in the 24 to 48 hours preceding launch, and at that point, there was likely not enough time for them to change their strategy in any significant way. I'm also willing to bet that sub numbers continue to ramp up even now as the wave of consciousness is spreading, especially since Blizzard has finally started to market Classic aggressively. Do I think things could have gone better? Of course I do. But how many times in your life do you wish you could have gone back and done something better, even if you succeeded in the end? They say first impressions are lasting impressions, and for many that may be true. But in reality, none of us truly know someone until we walk a mile in their shoes. We can apply a similar notion here. You gotta do the best you can with what you've got. We are all going to have to be patient here. In many ways, this is totally unprecedented. There were reports last night of 250,000 people waiting in queues. Classic had more than double watching on Twitch compared to BFA's launch, and the concurrent player base is already larger than retail. That is just astounding. Given all of this, I think Blizzard did an excellent job, and they're going to continue to do an excellent job. TLDR, give this a few more days to a week to settle down, and I promise that Classic WoW will be all you imagine it to be. There's no way it can't. This game's greatness is forever etched into the lines of code themselves. And besides, at the time this video was recorded, Blizz has already added 13 more realms worldwide in response to the hype. And I can tell you from experience, they likely aren't going to end there. Maybe Blizz is just going for the authentic Classic WoW experience, launch and all. Before we end, let's put some things into perspective, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, we have made ourselves heard. We, with resounding voices, told the world just how important this game, and perhaps even more importantly, true MMOs mean to us. The queues, server shutdowns, and lag are just confirmations of this game's greatness. I'll ask you this. What if there were no queues, no lag, no frustration? Would you feel as proud as you do now? I know I wouldn't. In the long run, a few days of discomfort doesn't matter. This game is here to stay, and it's because of us, the community. Classic WoW is about passion, it's about commitment, and it's about loyalty. We've waited too long and have worked too hard to let something like a suboptimal launch scenario get in our way. Roll with the punches, get back up, and try again. To answer the question posited, no, this launch was not a failure. It was and is an overwhelming success. We have shown the world that World of Warcraft Classic is much more than a game. It's a feeling, it's a way of life, it is our home. Thank you for watching, everyone. Keep on keybinding and grinding, and never give up on Classic Azeroth.